Good morning. Welcome to the Marion County Board of Commissioners meeting. It's Wednesday, November 7th, 2018. We're in the Senator Hearing Room at Courthouse Square. We begin our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance and invite you to join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Like somebody moved the flag way over on the side there. All right, well, we have public comment on our agenda every Wednesday morning at 9. I don't see anyone in the audience that's here for public comment, and no one has signed up, so we will invite people, if you are listening and would like to come down and let the commissioners know what's on your mind. That's always an opportunity. So now we will move to our consent agenda, and whose turn is it for consent? I think it's your turn, right? Because you were gone last week?
Yeah, yes, but you know, technically I'm on vacation, but
Well,
I don't want you saying, well, technically you've been on vacation
I was gonna
for
say,
15
never
years.
mind,
That's
it's
just
not
too
a
easy.
hard list.
I was just
You
going
can
to say,
read
he
it.
opened himself up for that one.
Right.
All right, I'll give it my best shot. Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve a consent calendar this morning. Under it, Board of Commissioners approve the Oregon Department of Veteran Affairs County Grant Application for ODVA funds. Public Works approve an order appointing Josh Faulkner to the Marion County Parks Commission with a term ending October 30th, 2022. Receive notice of hearings officer's decision approving conditional use case 18020 Williams Acres Solar. Approve an order scheduling a public hearing for November 28, 2018 to consider solid waste collection rate changes. Approve a purchase order for the purchase of one Freightliner Class 8 dump truck from McCoy Freightliner of Portland. And receive, and this is a little bit of a change from our written, it's receive notice of a hearings officer's decision approving conditional use case 18019 River Valley Solar LLC.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, there's a motion and a second, and the last one, we're just receiving notice of it, right? We're not approving it right now. Okay. All right. So any further discussion on any of the items? All in favor say aye.
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 All right, all of those items are approved. So we just have two items on our agenda this morning, no public hearings. They're both under Public Works, so Alan Haley is very appropriate, our Public Works Director is here to talk us through considering a resolution consenting to the transfer of a cable television franchise. So good morning.
Good morning, Chair, Commissioners. This is really a housekeeping item under our cable franchises. Falcon Cable System, which operates as Charter Communication, is doing some reorganization and putting in some consolidating. So in this case, they're taking the our local franchise, Falcon Cable, and combining it with a different subsidiary called Spectrum Pacific West LLC, and our franchise will basically be assigned to Spectrum. There's no real changes to the franchise. Our customer base won't see anything different. It's a simple transaction based inside the franchisee. So the resolution you're signing today is simply acknowledging that and agreeing to that reorganization. So, any questions?
So Mr. Latimer thought that this was worthy of not being on the consent calendar, so you could come down this morning. Is that the?
I have to guess that's true.
He's making you work in those last days.
Exactly. This is like an April Fool's joke in November. No, so.
I could read you the email I sent back to him, but.
All right. Well, it's good that the customers of this particular franchise knows that we're doing this in the open and transparently and all of that. So that's
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. So any questions or
No.
discussion? We have a motion?
No. Madam Chair, I'll move that we approve the resolution consenting the transfer of cable television franchise.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution consenting to the transfer of the cable television franchise. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 All right, that's
Aye.
approved. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
All right, second and last action item for today is to consider approval of an order denying conditional use case 18030 Lee. And Christy, I had a stack of papers that I put on there last night. Where happened to those? I put them there so you would bring them down, yeah. Well, let's see if I need them, okay? Oh, that's okay. Go ahead, Joe.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, Joe Fenimore. This item before you today was a request for a conditional use permit to establish a bed and breakfast inn as a home occupation on a 9-acre unit of land in a special agricultural zone on Valentine Road South. On May 14th, the planning director issued a decision approving the request subject to conditions. That decision was appealed by property owners in the area who opposed the home occupation. The hearings officer conducted a public hearing and on September 7th issued a decision denying that request. That decision was appealed to the board by the applicant. The board accepted the appeal and held a public hearing on October 17th. After having considered all the information and evidence in the record, the board denied the request. To complete the process, a final order signed by the board is needed. The order and findings have been prepared for you to consider today. You have the options of approving the order as written, directing staff to make changes to the order, or take no action at this time. Staff recommends the order be approved as written. I'll be happy to try and answer questions.
All right, so this is the public hearing that we had not too long ago on the case for the bed and breakfast out at the Morrow Mansion. And the order contains Exhibit A, findings of facts and conclusions of law. Can you go through, Joe, the rationale on the subordinate use piece of the orders? I think we're looking at what page is that? Page 4.
Yes.
Particularly.
So
go ahead.
Under definition of a home occupation, it says that any business or professional activity engaged in for the production of income by the resident of a dwelling or dwelling unit as a subordinate use of the building and its premise. The applicant indicated they lived in a guest house in the dwelling while the guests would have full access for the balance of
Actually, the applicant said they will live in a guest house,
Correct.
not that they do live in a guest house.
while granting, allowing guests access to the balance of the home. And that the board concluded that would be a secondary use. I mean, the primary use would be for the home occupation. The secondary use would be her staying in one of the apartments occasionally.
All right, and then would you also talk about the distinction between a bed and breakfast and a hotel?
So-
And then the comments that the applicant made about allowing any of the 7 rooms and the rest of the house to be used for guest purposes?
Bed and breakfast, by definition, is where lodging and a morning meal for guests only are offered for compensation, having no more than 5 sleeping rooms for this purpose. An establishment with more than 5 sleeping rooms shall be deemed a hotel. At the hearing, the applicant requested that the guests have access to the dwelling amenities, which included the exercise room, swimming pool, dance hall, and bowling alley. She indicated that there's 7 rooms upstairs that would be, did not know which of the 5 would be used at which time. There was no plan on which of the rooms would be used. She said they all had special, different kinds of amenities, different characteristics.
Right, and so it continues on and says that all 7 bedrooms would be made available for guests to choose from. So she wasn't saying that she would select a particular set of 5 rooms,
Right.
and that would be the bed and breakfast, but basically it was kind of whichever one people would choose, which then lends itself more to the character of a hotel as opposed to the character of a bed and breakfast.
Correct.
Correct? Okay. All right, so any other questions for Joe?
No, Madam Chair, I think that was the thing that stood out to me. There was no plan to remodel it, to just take it down to 5 rooms. So there was more than 5 rooms available, and that's outside. So that was one of the things.
Great. Okay.
So, Madam Chair, if I could, I'd make a motion that we do approve the order as written.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second approving the order and the exhibits as written, and this is denying conditional use case 18030 Lee. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Hi.
And that is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your work, Joe.
All right, so I'm going to read the Wednesday to Wednesday calendar, and then I think we want to talk about
Yes,
the
we do.
election. So let me do that quickly. It is still Wednesday, November 7th. We are still in the Senator hearing room. The board session is about to conclude after we do a little elections discussion. At noon today is the Woodburn-Marion County meeting at Luis's Taqueria, 523 Front Street in Woodburn, although I think none of the commissioners is available to go to Luis's today, because two of us have a Mid-Valley Jobs Council meeting, which is at 12:30 at the Willamette Workforce Partnership Boardroom, 626 High Street Northeast in Salem. Tonight, still Wednesday, November 7th at 5:30, is a meeting of the Marion County Fair Board in the Commissioners Boardroom on the 5th floor here at Courthouse Square. Tomorrow morning will be, this is November 8th at 7:30 at Sherry's Restaurant on River Road North in Kaiser for the monthly meeting of Kaiser Marion County officials. On Monday, November 12th, the county will be closed in observance of Veterans Day. Tuesday, 7:30 in the morning, this is November 13th, is the monthly Staten Marion County meeting with Staten officials and officials actually from all over in that area. That's at the Covered Bridge Cafe, 510 North 3rd Avenue in Staten. Then on Tuesday at 8:30 is calendar review, although Sherry and I were talking about whether or not we'd have a need for that calendar review, whether you're coming in, so we can
think
talk
not.
about that, right?
On what day? On the 12th,
Yeah, on the 13th,
13th?
right?
I'll be gone. I'll
Yeah,
be on vacation.
that's right. You're gonna be gone, and I'm gonna be gone,
Well, I'm
so.
not gonna be gone, but I've gotta go to Silverton.
Yeah,
so-
exactly, and then there was an Oregon Garden meeting or something that you were going to, so we're going to pull off the calendar review. And then at 1 o'clock on November 13th starts it's the opening session of the Association of Oregon Counties Annual Conference. It's held at the Hilton Hotel on 6th Avenue in Eugene, and that will be actually going on through Thursday evening with a lot of county commissioners down there. And a lot of good workshops. So that also means that we will not be having a board session here next week on Wednesday, November 14th, because we'll all be involved in the Association of Oregon Counties meetings in Eugene. So, election. Congratulations, Commissioner.
I just saw your Facebook post.
It came up as a memory. It's like
What is it?
I couldn't. I had been looking for that picture. I could not send
It
it.
says,
Oh,
it's
under
Janet
the-
Carlson,
under the
important
table.
work at Marion County,
Yeah.
and John and I are underneath the table trying to plug in, and she goes, she said, what'd she say? Glad Kevin Cameron has 4 more years to get the job done at Marion County. That is perfect.
Well, it's a great picture. And I was telling somebody about it just the other day when we were when we were saying that John was the only person that knew how to operate the recording machine in the Silverton Conference
So this
Room.
just came up 2 years ago? Oh, the 7th,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
it's a memory from 2
Yeah,
years
2
ago.
years ago.
And it was the first thing that I saw when I opened up Facebook this morning, and I thought, all right, what can I do with this? So, glad you have a sense of humor about that.
Oh, I love
So, can we invite Colin to come up and talk to us for a minute?
Sure.
Is that all right with you? Would you like to come over here? Introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you won last night.
Just sit,
Right there.
yeah,
Maybe one of the few times you're actually sitting there.
this is true,
Right.
yeah.
Hi, I'm Cullum Willis, and I won the election last night to, I can't say replace because no one's going to replace you, Commissioner Carlson, but to try to continue the good work that you've been doing over the years. And
Great.
I'm grateful for the support of the people of Marion County.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for
Yes,
coming
thank
down
you.
today. And
Thank you.
we were very excited about your win and really want to congratulate many candidates. I
Yeah.
think anybody who puts themselves out there
Yeah.
as a candidate deserves to have our thanks and our congratulations, because it's all about getting involved in the political process.
Are you gonna tell Comey about got him scheduled in Eugene for some more?
Well, I
information stuff?
texted, I woke up at like 20 to 6 this morning. I never wake up early. And I was thinking, I just need to go back to sleep. And then I grabbed my iPad, because I just had to look to be able to see whether or not
What the results were?
what the results were overnight, because the last time I looked was the 11 o'clock numbers, so they did more numbers early in the morning. And so then I sent him a text. It was really early, right? Hey, do you want to go down to Eugene
yes.
to go to the new commissioner orientation? So Sherry is actually going to be, she's trying to get in touch with you. So maybe after this, we should have you go upstairs and talk to her, and then you can kind of figure out the logistics of all of that. So
I'd be happy to do that.
all right.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to say to us?
Nope, just excited to get to work.
All right, very good.
Excited to have you get to work with us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, if I can interject before Colm leaves, congratulations, by the way. I'm so pleased, and Kevin, yeah, I'm looking forward to the next 2 years and continuing doing good things. And
Yeah.
I probably say it wrong, I want to be careful, but a vindication for how the work we've done in the last several years. It says people were satisfied. I read that into it, and I hope that's correct. And hopefully we'll keep it up. I'm really pleased.
Yeah, it's been a fun, well, 4.5 years since I got here. And I look at both of you, and Colm, you're going to understand this. I look at Janet 16, 15, Sam.
Yeah, he came in November, the same year I came in. He was
Yeah,
appointed.
16.
Was it November?
Mhm.
Yeah.
16 years, 15
I should have
years.
got credit for November. They
Yeah.
start me December 1st. It's still ripped off, but you'll
Really?
learn about this, Colm.
It was November. I remember clearly it was November.
Fine.
But
Thank you.
But even after serving in the legislature for 9.5 years and coming here and really not understanding what we do or what you do and what all the staff does here, and being here for 4.5 years and just the great staff that we have, it's just a real honor to be able to serve. And but to watch the two of you and how you've helped me learn the job. And we're going to miss you, I know that.
I wanted to point out, did you notice what perfection was in opening this meeting? Did you take note? Because
Yeah, well,
we're expecting.
I did it without notes, too.
I saw it.
Sam always reminds me, do I know where I am? And then I still mess it up, no matter how much he reminds me. But Colm, it's great to have you and on board. And I like Janet, you said, I want to thank everybody. I didn't get to talk to my opponent last night. I don't know, there wasn't a phone call or anything, but to have somebody stand up and run a really hard race, and and I know how hard you worked and your opponent, but it's one of those things where you get hired by the people. Like you said, Sam, I think that's a signal that we've done good work, and sure, we can always do better. There's always challenges ahead of us, but one of the things about, I think, this board, and Colm, you'll bring that to us as well, is that you never rest. You know, you always find something that's a challenge out there and take it on and stay at it. So I'm excited to do it for another 4 years. I don't know if I'll make it 16 or 15, but
8 would be good.
8 would be, yeah, if I'm alive after 8, I think I'll be okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be good.
Just some other comments locally. Just a quick scan. There's some mayor races. An important one to me was in Woodburn and Frank Lonigan, an old friend.
Yeah,
of
I
mine.
He
saw
won,
that.
didn't he?
Mayor,
That was the squeaker.
and a close one,
Yeah.
but they thought it might be, but a nice
Yeah.
race they were happy with. Aurora is a change that
That's a big
surprised
change,
me.
yeah.
And
It's all about the airport.
I know
Bill
it is.
texted me this morning.
I know it is.
Yeah.
And then State and Hank Porter stays, and he's been good for Staten, and I'm glad there wasn't a change there. So
Yep.
statewide, though, nothing really went my way. It's just a super majority in the.
Right.
Wow, are they gonna, any tax they can come up with and pass on to the counties, the responsibilities, I can hardly wait.
Well,
That's
I
not
went
true.
county by county last night looking at the commissioner races too, and was surprised at how many of them are nonpartisan counties now. So
I
a
think
lot
all
of-
but
so a lot-
6, right?
So a lot of the races actually were decided in,
May.
in May, yeah. So very few commissioner, contested
Are there any
commissioner races.
other, I hate to, I'm not even gonna say it, but
There was
Marion
one.
County's unique.
Well, there was one where standing commissioner lost. It's
Who was that?
Stan.
Oh, Primovich?
In Yum Hill.
Oh, he did? No, that's not happy for
Yeah.
me. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know where we're gonna go. Get ready for higher taxes is all I can see. In every form they can,
Not her.
no, you'll be in Idaho talking on your
That's
cell phone
right.
driving.
Yeah,
God.
with all the other pickups going like 80 miles
Are
an
you
hour.
gonna get a pickup too? That'll be
Shooting my
nice.
pistol on New Year's Eve.
Really? Do you need one? I can lend you one so you can have it.
shooting my pistol on me.
Since, yeah, the Macaulay family actually
Will
does
you
that. Erica was just
will you
appalled
send a
when she
video
moved there.
for me so I can remember the
She
good
keeps
old
all
days?
the kids inside, so.
All right.
Oh, my gosh.
What, Idahoan, is that what they call them? That doesn't sound good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not happy with that. We'll make something better.
No. Yeah,
All right.
I won't even, no more comments.
All right.
All right, anything else for the good of the order? Okay, we will adjourn.
Pretty
Okay.
happy.